So we are approaching Waverly.
The look of this building is so imposing. I'm surprised you're conscious right now.
I'm keeping it together for now. There's a good chance tonight is the night you see me die on camera.
It kind of looks like a castle.
It kind of looks like hell.
It looks like Hogwarts.
There's not one part of you that's like, oh man, I'm really in for it now.
I mean, I don't...
What in the fuck is that?
That's just a big metal thing. That's not a ghost, that's metal.
Jesus Christ, dude.
But I think we should let them know that we're entering, just give them a quick, hey ghouls! The boys are here!
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we explore Waverly Hills Sanatorium as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? As with most places we investigate, it doesn't have the most pleasant history, making it one of the most haunted places in the world. And as you can see, this is the place where nightmares are made. I mean, look at that.
It's very dark. It's a dark hallway.
I just don't get any of this. I don't understand.
I know.
Okay. Well, let's break down the history. On July 26, 1910, Waverly Hills Sanatorium opened to treat patients of tuberculosis. On October 17, 1926, a bigger version of Waverly Hills that we are now sitting in tonight opened to accommodate the overflow of patients with the tuberculosis epidemic. The hospital was 5 stories tall and was built on a quiet space atop a hill where it was thought that patients would be at peace and receive lots of fresh air. Most importantly, it would keep the patients quarantined far away from crowded areas. Fuck me. I feel awful right now.
Looks like one of the Conjuring films. I got a little spoiler for you. Between the building between the window.
Yeah. We've really done it now.
We've done it now.
Let's provide a little background on tuberculosis. Tuberculosis, also known as TB, or the White Plague, is a bacterial infection contracted by breathing in air containing Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The bacteria could eat away at the lungs and overall claimed roughly 2 billion lives in total, billed as, quote, the plague of all plagues, end quote.
I'm glad we're done with that.
Yeah, that was a rough time.
Everybody died. I feel like in every movie about a period before 1940 or something, there's a part in the movie where someone coughs and everybody looks at him.
And there's blood on the handkerchief.
Blood on the handkerchief.
Tucks in his jacket real quick.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Around the turn of the 20th century, tuberculosis ran rampant in the warm, wet weather of Kentucky, and the demand for treatment necessitated a facility like Waverly Hills Sanatorium. It could accommodate up to 500 patients. Unfortunately, not all the treatment was effective. According to owner Tina Mattingly, Waverly also used electroshock therapy to treat patients whose tuberculosis spread to the brain.
The electroshock therapy was on the first floor of what we call the morgue wing. And electroshock is where they performed on the patients that got tuberculosis. Probably didn't help them, I'm sure, but they didn't know what else to do.
There's a little theater in here.
Yeah, it's set up because sometimes they put stuff on for Halloween, but this is the room. You feel strange?
No.
It's filthy. Well, we're going to sleep on the ground later, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
I think the ground is cleaner than this couch.
It's pretty dusty. Are my butt cheeks?
Yeah, that's a perfect butt print. You got the 2 pockets there.
Oh, look at that. The 2 pockets and everything.
Someone will come here in a week and they'll be like, it's a good ghost butt. A lot of you were probably very unhappy here. It seems like a room where they were doing a lot of medical things that maybe you didn't enjoy. If you're here, we're going to be real quiet right now. Maybe make some noise. Here we go. I'm not really hearing anything. This is the biggest upset. I did not see this coming.
Interestingly enough, due to the fact that tuberculosis is highly contagious, Waverly Hills was largely self-sufficient. They grew their own food, raised animals, had a post office, etc. Basically, once you went to Waverly Hills, whether you were a patient, nurse, or doctor, you were no longer part of the outside world. Eventually, a vaccine was made readily available for tuberculosis, and Waverly Hills closed its doors in 1961. It's been debated how many died within its walls before doing so. current co-owner Tina Mattingly has claimed the number is approximately in the tens of thousands, but nobody can know for sure. Regardless, death was so common that the hospital actually contains a horrifying area nicknamed the Body Chute, a tunnel used to dispose of dead bodies out of eyesight from the other patients. The tunnel is roughly 500 feet long and leads down the hill.
If I were staying here, I wouldn't want to be watching them shuttle bodies through the hall all day.
I don't want to.
They shooted him. Pete Dunne got shooted. Is that the body
I
chute?
think this is the Body Chute.
Look how left.
Oh my god. This is awful.
Now this is the nightmare.
Oh no. No. You have gotta be fucking You fucking kidding me, dude?
This is like Satan's cement butthole.
Oh my god, dude.
Shit.
Oh my god. How far does this go? Are we going to hell?
Let's find out.
If there's anybody down here that maybe hated this tunnel,
This is a witch hole.
let us know. Make your presence known. Preferably now and not when we get to the bottom of this tunnel. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It looks like there's a soccer ball at the bottom.
Well, that's good.
Oh my god, are you serious?
What is that? The wind?
I don't know.
It just went woo.
I don't know what the fuck that was. It was some weird whoop noise.
What if I go up there and you stay down here and we turn our lights on and see if we hear anything?
What if you go fuck yourself? How about that? How long am I staying down here? A minute. A minute? Fuck. All right. Lights off in 3, 1. Oh god. Oh no.
Did you hear that?
Is it a minute yet? Please tell me it's been a minute. Hello? Get me the fuck out of here. I'm leaving. Goodbye, ghost at the bottom. I'm gonna imagine that place is the closest thing to hell.
Not really, because there's no malice there. It's just dead people. It's people who died of a disease and they...
You gotta imagine when their like soul is out and they're watching it get dragged like a World War II victim down this creepy, dingy tunnel is not the thing that you would like to see.
What do you want them to do? Like carry him out on a golden velvet couch?
I'm just saying it's an uncomfortable place.
How dare they dispose of my body? They should leave it in the hallway to
saying.
rot.
The spirits of the countless who died here are said to now haunt this facility, making Waverly Hill Sanatorium potentially one of the most haunted places in the world. That being said, let's get into some of the reports of paranormal activity. Visitors often claim they hear the sound of children's laughter. Slamming doors are said to be a common occurrence. Some insist faces have appeared in windows to rooms that are unoccupied and in photos where nobody was standing. Waverly Hills is also famous for its reports of shadow people, which are shadowy figures that people claim to see all over the hospital.
If you look down this hallway long enough, your eyes are going to look at that darkness, and eventually you start to see movement in darkness. When there's nothing there, your eyes sort of fill the void.
I got you.
Have you ever heard that old thing about when you look at your face in the mirror in low light, and eventually you sort of look demonic? And look it up. It's a thing on the internet.
What are you pointing to?
All the Shaniacs out there.
I hate you. Aside from general reports, there are specific areas of this former hospital that we should discuss and investigate in detail. For obvious reasons, the morgue on the first floor is reportedly an area of heightened activity. Supposedly, this is one of the more active rooms in this whole story. Do you feel any strange feelings right now?
I'm cold. Yeah, it's a morgue. I'd feel stranger if there were actual dead bodies in there.
Well, I mean,
right
these
now.
are accurate autopsy tables from the time these are real.
Yeah, I see.
Jesus Christ. Moving to the 3rd floor, a homeless man and his dog supposedly fell down the elevator shaft when the building was vacant. And co-owner Tina Mattingly, as well as many others, claim to have seen the ghost of both the man and the dog.
One night after I had a tour going on, and I was walking down the hallway, and I saw a very tall man, tall, thin, long hair, turned my snake light on up like this and clicked it on. He just wasn't there. Well, at that point, I'm a little nervous, and I start to walk down the hall, and I'm kind of looking around to see if they'd be backed into a room or something. And then I see a dog laying on the floor. It was a white dog. It looked like a small white German Shepherd. And I started, calling to the dog, try to get it up and get it moving, and it didn't. And then all of a sudden, I didn't see it disappear. I didn't see it get up and walk away. It just wasn't there.
It's also speculated that the man did not accidentally fall down the shaft, but that he was pushed. But I mean, at least he went out with his, best friend, I suppose.
They pushed the dog too?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't even think about that. Maybe he was like holding the dog on the... we're not gonna think of the logistics of
Even
this.
if I'm holding a dog and someone pushes me, I'm gonna let go of the leash, or I'm not gonna be like, yeah, you're coming with me. Coward taking the dog to die with you.
What are you doing? This is the worst thing you could possibly do.
Put your hand in there first.
It's pretty... I don't want him to grab my hand. What if he grabs my hand? It takes a zoom.
Well, then we have proof of a ghost.
No, it's just gonna be you saying you dropped it. Oh, you dropped it.
Put your hand all the way in there. There you go.
I don't like that.
Do it, Ryan. What are you? What? You didn't drop it.
I know. Okay, to the man in the elevator. If you were pushed down this elevator, make a noise. If you fell down this elevator, make a noise. I'm just gonna ask you, maybe you'll say it, maybe I'll hear it later.
What the fuck is wrong with you? What?
It was this. Okay, felt like someone doing this.
You've got a thing, man.
I swear.
Also,
This is why I didn't want to do it, because I knew you weren't gonna believe me. This is bullshit.
it's also very breezy here. So yeah, if you felt the
Well, why
breeze,
did
it's highly likely that it was
If that was you,
a breeze.
please don't do that again.
We'd like some confirmation that it was you. Please do it again.
No, don't listen to him. Let's get the fuck away from this elevator shaft. There are reports of an apparition draped in a white doctor's coat being seen. One ghost hunter claims he saw the man disappear into a treatment room on the 4th floor. Also on this floor is a room that used to be the nurse's waiting room, a place where owner Tina Mattingly came across evidence of a full-bodied apparition.
We were on the 4th floor, me and another girl that comes here every year. She's the one that's always taking all the pictures and stuff. She has a really nice camera. And she was snapping pictures, and all of a sudden I hear her just going crazy, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm like, turn around, like, what? She goes, you won't believe what I got.
She said she saw her standing right here. God, that'd be scary.
It's kind of grainy because I took a picture of her camera, and she never could send me the original.
It does look like a full-bodied apparition.
That doesn't give you the chills.
Well, I mean,
On the 3rd floor, there are reports of a little boy named Timmy who likes to play with a blue rubber ball. All right, Timmy. My name's Ryan. This is my pal Shane.
hi, Tim.
I hear you like balls. No, wait.
Will we do a retake on that one? That had to be intense.
I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose. No, it's not a fucking bit. I'm sorry. I'm gonna bounce my ball. See, it's a bouncy ball. You like that? I like it. Wanna play?
You want to play? Why you sound threatening? You want to play? Let's fucking play.
Timmy, I'm very scared, but if you could throw this ball back, I won't be as scared.
Oh my God, that's the biggest lie I've ever heard.
All right, Timmy, I'm throwing the ball down. You ready? All right.
It bounced a few extra times, so did you hear that?
Do you think it bounced? I thought it bounced a couple extra times, but I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me.
It sounded like it stopped and then it bounced a little more. I don't know if that means ghost, but
Walk down this time.
it's the most serious I've ever seen. Let's walk down there and find the ball.
All right, Timmy, we're coming to get the ball. I don't know where it went.
Do you want the punch right now? Oh, there it is.
No way.
Oh!
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Ryan, the ball
No!
bounced.
No! The ball stopped here. How the fuck is that
Ryan,
possible?
The ball stopped right here.
How is that possible? Oh no!
They know. Ryan, they know.
Shut up, dude. You know this is fucking weird. Shut up.
Ball came right into this hallway.
I don't know what the odds are, Timmy, that my ball would land right next to my name down there that I didn't know existed. I'm gonna roll the ball one more time, Timmy. We're coming over, Timmy.
Where
did this thing go?
I think it's one of them.
Oh, it's right there in the middle.
Oh, perfect. Now that's a good throw, Ryan.
I mean, that's exactly how I threw it last time.
No, it wasn't exactly.
Yes, it was.
No.
It's like directly in the middle of the floor.
So you think because it's in the middle now, it was moved before?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
I don't know.
You don't think it's odd that it stopped in the middle and then before it went into the room by my name?
But it also stopped at the I love pot graffiti, so maybe this ghost just lived to blaze it.
It's rumored that patients whose infection spread to the brain, rendering them insane, were sent to the 5th floor. So let's make the journey upward. All right, this is the floor I'm really not stoked to go on. One room in particular on this floor that is arguably the most active and definitely the most controversial is room 502. The famous 502. And I guess this is where we're fucking sleeping because we're idiots. And this is what we like to do. Room 502 has a reputation due to the 2 suicides that supposedly occurred there. One story has it that in 1932, a nurse jumped to her death from the 5th floor patio near room 502, though others believe she was actually pushed. Right around here is probably where she jumped off. The second nurse to die here.
That's a hell of a fall.
That'll do it.
I mean, if he was 5 feet or taller, a good gust could just knock her over. Because even when I was looking over there.
The other suicide reportedly occurred 4 years earlier in 1928 when nurse Mary Hillenberg hung herself just outside room 502. Another theory is that Mary got pregnant by one of the doctors, and when he tried to perform an abortion, she died, and the suicide was staged. So according to Tina, here's 502, they found the nurse hanging right around here. So if we were to sleep in this area,
Oh, that's right. That's right where it happened.
we would be sleeping right where it happened.
I could tell you some stories about the 5th floor.
Oh, sure, let's hear
I've
them.
had guys, people for security reasons, stay up on the 5th floor in tents. And they have things put their tents all night long. And hear kids giggling and stuff.
Oh, that's fun. Cool. That's
Yeah.
where we're going to be sleeping.
You have fun with that. I've been here almost 16 years, but I've never done it.
Well, that's good that we're going to, really tee
Yeah,
that
you're
up.
going to do something that I've never done.
Awesome.
Go big or go home. Well, this place, I realized, is different for a number of reasons. One, if we were at the Sally House, it's like, oh, run out the front door. Whereas here,
You're like trapped.
yeah, we're on the roof, more or less.
Oh my god, did you hear that?
No. What are you talking about?
Are you serious? You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
I heard a whisper.
No, you didn't hear a whisper.
I swear to god I heard a whisper.
There's a lot of wind moving around right
Nope.
now. What did the whisper say?
I don't know.
Sure it wasn't just a car in the distance?
No, it sounded like someone saying something. Oh man, am I still freaking myself out again? I thought you sure you didn't hear it? It made my hair stand up.
Just go to sleep.
No. I don't want to.
Oh, you can't even see me. It's so dark in here. So I'm falling asleep.
Shane's next to me. He's asleep. Well, I may have just woken him up, but I don't really care. Literally, 6 feet away from me, a lady hung herself.
Ryan, why are you doing this?
I asked myself that a lot too. I don't understand why I do these things. Shane, how are you
I thought you were asleep.
I don't remember. I think I was asleep when you called Helen in the first place because I woke up and I heard a voice and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You've been asleep for 45 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, did Shane think I was a ghost?
Yeah.
Shane also thinks it was a coincidence that the ball landed on the Ryan. What do you think?
I think Timmy wants to be your friend.
Well, that was a sleepless night. Let's go check in on Mr. Shane.
His location is cleared.
Well,
Time to go!
it's been real. You still have an opportunity here. Golden moment to seize glory. You hear that, Ghost? That's Ryan Bergara 1, Waverly Hills Sanatorium 0. How does that feel?
You fucking wimps.
Is Waverly Hills Sanatorium haunted? Remains. Actually, do you think this place is haunted?
No.
I think it is. Due to the countless deaths that occurred within its walls, it's no surprise to me that many report this once busy hospital is haunted. There's the demon hole. Goodbye. Body shoot. And although nothing we experienced tonight changes that reputation in my mind, whether or not Waverly Hills Sanatorium is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
I'm gonna take everything said by a ghost hunter with a grain of salt.
Well, technically now you're a ghost. Think about that.
Oh, no.
I don't even know if I can talk to you.
I'm a ghost hunter, but I...
Oh my god, did your brain just explode?
Am I a ghost hunter? I don't want to be a ghost hunter. This is all bullshit. Oh no. Do I have to put that on my business card now?
Yeah, Shane McGay, Ghost Hunter.
Son of a bitch.
And Robo Squad.
And Robo Squad.
What is that? Sounds like a laugh.
Hello?
That's an owl.
Oh. Mayflower Hall.
Nice name, nice placard.
Sure.
Smells like,
Smells like shit in here.
yeah, well, I mean, it smells a little musty.
That's what all the places that we go to smell like, dust. Oh, that goes back pretty far.
Okay.
I'm confused by mine if you.
I'm getting the vibes. Do you think on any one of these adventures you'll ever truly sort of have a psychic break?
Like a mental breakdown?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, you almost got there in the Sally house.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen today, huh?
I mean, I'm fingers crossed it does.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Pennhurst State School and Hospital as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? This is actually now a Halloween attraction called Pennhurst Asylum, and as you can see, they didn't really change much. It's still very much an abandoned hellscape.
This is what happens to all buildings, though, over time, right? When not tended to.
Yeah, this is kind of like a look of what the apocalypse would look like
Yeah.
in micro form.
Place is really rotting very well.
Yeah, there are some pretty weird things that we got.
Well, let's hear about it.
Okay, let's get into it. On January 23rd, 1903, Pennhurst State School was commissioned as the Eastern Pennsylvania State Institution for the feeble-minded and epileptic, a place for people with intellectual disabilities and people with epilepsy to live, learn, and be cared for in a safe environment. In the end, there would eventually be more than 20 buildings in total to make up the sprawling campus.
I get a vibe here, it's sort of like the Avengers headquarters.
Why would you get that vibe?
Just rolling grounds, a lot of different buildings. Seems like a place the Avengers would live.
You know, you're right. As I scan around, this place definitely screams high tech.
Well,
We got like a couch over there with a couple cockroaches fucking.
I
We got
touched
this
it and my
like
hand
board.
turned black.
Your fingers are now falling off as you touch the wall. This place definitely Avengers would.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the facility quickly fell into disrepair and poor living conditions, catalyzed mainly by the overcrowding, understaffing, and lack of funds. Regardless of their age, all residents of Pennhurst were called children, even though there were many adult residents. In 1974, the reported average age was 36 years old, and on average, spent 21 years of their life at Pennhurst.
Why did they call them children?
I don't know, I just read that.
It's very derogatory.
Yeah, back in the day, people did not know a lot about mental health. I heard that people who had ADHD or ADD were put in here because
Just lump them all in,
Lump
throw
them
them
all
over
in.
here. I feel like back in the day they might have put you in here.
I mean, I guess if I was saying like I saw a ghost or I saw visions.
Yeah, if you went around town in like 1908 or 1910 saying, I seen ghosts, I see ghosts all the time.
Right.
Can we call the people?
You know where I
and-
saw a lot of ghosts? In this building over here. And then they just slammed the door
Yeah.
and close it up like the Red Wedding.
Yeah, you'd be one of the children.
In 1968, nearly 60 years after Pennhurst's opening, a documentary series called Suffer the Little Children finally revealed to the public the horrors of the facility. A doctor at the facility who was actually named Dr. Fear.
If your last name is Fear and you receive a doctorate, I believe it is your moral responsibility to be a bad person.
Dr. Fear, I'm trying to think of professions you could actually be with that name. You're either going to be a supervillain, a pro wrestler, or an evil doctor.
He actually seems like the prime arch nemesis to C.C. Tinsley.
Dr. Fear versus
Yeah.
C.C. Tinsley.
I'd read a serial about that.
No, we don't know what happened to C.C. Tinsley. Maybe he...
Dr. Fear fucking murked him.
He got murked by Dr. Fear. In the documentary, Dr. Fear admitted to threatening and punishing patients. In one instance, Fear punished a patient by injecting the patient with the most painful injection that would not cause damage. He was a piece of shit. The documentary also stated that the largest zoos in the country spent $7.15 each day on each animal, whereas Pennhurst only spent $5.90 per resident per day at the time of the airing.
That seems pretty cheap for animals.
Yeah, and then you look down and you go, oh, what's $5.90? Oh, that's humans. Was that you?
No, that was a noise from over there.
So this was apparently a day room back in the day, a common room.
Now it appears to have
A pentagram.
some other stuff. This looks like medical equipment.
Yeah, it was a hospital back in the day. Oh my god, this room is fucking horrifying over here.
It's just a room.
My goal here tonight, since this place was such a place of tragedies, I don't know, if we could reach out to them, maybe we could help some of them.
You just looking for positivity? Is that what
I'm
you're saying?
trying to, while also trying to fight the fact that I'm fucking terrified right now, so.
Hello, spirits. We're here with good vibes. We ask you to let us film you tonight and put you on YouTube.
Is there anybody here right now? There's also a little doll in this bed here. Is that yours? Can you move the doll?
Oh, hello. You ever been to Mexico City? We got a fella who would love to meet you.
Can you move that doll?
It's not very heavy. Can you make her blink or make her head spin around?
Jesus Christ. Let's just start with move. How about that? And then we'll work up from there.
What do you want it to do? Like just get up and start dancing like
No,
the
I don't
WB
want
frogs?
it to. No, I want it to.
You want the little doll?
I want it to flip
Hello,
over or
my baby.
something.
Hello, my honey.
If it flipped over right now, that would be insane. In 1974, Terry Lee Halderman, a resident at Pennhurst, filed a class action lawsuit against Pennhurst State School and Hospital. While a resident at Pennhurst, Halderman reportedly suffered about 40 injuries, including cracked teeth, a fractured finger, and a broken jaw. During that trial, the conditions of Pennhurst were described and were later undisputed by the Supreme Court. Here's a quote on those conditions. Quote, "Conditions at Pennhurst are not only dangerous, with the residents often physically abused or drugged by staff members, but inadequate. Indeed, the court found that the physical, intellectual, and emotional skills of some residents have deteriorated at Pennhurst." End quote. Many residents were physically harmed by either abuse or neglect by the staff, including death. In his autobiography, former resident Roland Johnson described the smell of Pennhurst as a doghouse. Quote, "It just smells like feces, rats crawling, roaches crawling all over, feces and pee on the floor, flies coming in the windows." End quote.
If I were a fly, I'd be trying to get out. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but flies also like poop.
They do like poop.
So if flies are trying to get in your house, you're probably not doing it right.
Rave Yelp reviews for flies.
On Yelp, 5 stars. Great poop all around the digs. It's a fucking feast in here, boys.
Some of the best poop I've ever had.
Poop for miles.
They just leave it lying around.
Either way.
Usually have to work for it, but at this place, it's like an old country buffet, but full of poop.
In 1984, the final settlement of Pennhurst versus Halderman called for the closure of Pennhurst, and in 1987, Pennhurst State School and Hospital were mercifully officially shut down. This is only a brief summary of the horrors of Pennhurst State School, in which I've spared details that I found particularly upsetting. I can only imagine the unjust misery and suffering that took place within these walls. As a believer in spirits and energy, I believe those who suffered are more likely to remain, and in that respect, I find it highly possible that the poor souls that once stayed here still linger today. That being said, let's get into some of the places that are supposedly the most active, starting with the underground tunnels. At Pennhurst, buildings are actually linked by an underground tunnel system. Down here, there is all kinds of reported activity. A property manager even refused to venture down alone. This is the tunnel system that's under the entire facility. So this goes from all the buildings, kind of like a spider web.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it isn't pleasant.
I'm not trying to be crass here, but there is a surprising amount of penis art in
Is there?
here. Yeah, well, Ryan.
Oh, wow, that's a triumphant penis right there. Look at that.
Very proud of itself.
So, throughout this tunnel, we have a laser grid and we have a bunch of motion lights going to the end of the tunnel. So if anything runs toward us or moves in this tunnel, we're going to see it. This does look like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. See, now that looks cool. If a ghost did that, that would be fun.
If there's anybody down here who's sad or mad, just make your presence known, move.
Jiggle. Drop a deuce or get off the pot, buddy.
Jesus Christ, dude. Pennhurst is so active that there's a book written about the hauntings by a woman named Tamara Lawrence, who worked in the Mayflower building in 2011. She details the 4 known spirits that haunt the 2nd floor of the building. The first is a little boy named Howie, who plays with a Fisher-Price airplane. Howie, we hear this is your plane if you're here. We also hear you don't like people touching it. If you're here, could you perhaps move the plane?
Howie, if you don't move this plane, I'm gonna touch it with my dirty hands.
These dirty man hands.
I'm gonna disrespect your favorite toy.
Oh my God, don't phrase it that way.
It's a toy, Ryan.
I mean, it can't get much worse than being in this room. If you truly are trapped in here, Howie, I'm sorry, because this room is gross. Oh God, what are you gonna do? You have a very sly, evil smile on right now. I don't like it. I know you're gonna touch it.
Here we go, Howie. I'm gonna touch your plane.
The second ghost is a shadow man who is repeatedly seen in the common room or in the bathroom. One couple claimed to discover that his name is Fisher, a name which can be found on a wall in one of the cells. This shadow man has been caught multiple times on camera by other investigators. Perhaps we'll be lucky enough to do the same. So, right now we're in the common room. This is where a shadow man is often seen. He's actually been caught in a couple pictures in this room. So I thought, we just walk around in the dark, take some pictures, and maybe he'll pop up in some of them.
I have a crazy hunch that your eyes are gonna play tricks on you and you're gonna lose your mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna douse my light now.
Oh, shit. Yep, you're right. You're 100% right. Okay.
Well, start flashing.
Anybody in here with us? Don't mind me. I'm just gonna take your picture. Say cheese. Oh god, this is fucked up. Oh,
That's a chair.
okay.
Look down that long hallway.
Shut up, Shane. Shooting,
You notice how your eyes play tricks on you when it's dark?
firing.
Shadow Man.
Fisher? Is that your name? Are you in here? Oh my god, this is fucking
I
horrifying.
don't like this one bit.
I really don't like this. Is anybody here with us right now? What was that? What was that? What was that? I heard something in that cell over there.
You heard something?
It sounded like a pebble moving or something. It could have been just like a drop from the ceiling.
Try to rationalize it all you want, but you know it's a ghost.
I'm just gonna phase you out right now. Ready? Firing.
Anything behind me?
Dude, there's no fucking head on you.
What? I would have been into that.
The third ghost is the spirit of a little girl who is seen in different spots throughout the second floor. The fourth ghost.
That's all we got on her?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't know anything about her. The fourth ghost is an angry nurse. According to multiple reports, people are stabbed with what feels like a needle. Both of these ghosts have been reported in what Lawrence calls the art room. Got some new toys here. These are called dowsing rods. So now people use these today to communicate with ghosts. They'll say something like, show me what a yes looks like.
Show me give me a yes.
Usually they'll cross like that, like they just did, because I moved my hand.
Yeah, so the hands being involved in this seems, because look, if you give me one,
It's not a toy.
send word to the Shaniacs. We're done. We're disbanding.
I'm gonna take that and shove it right into your neck. Watch the blood come out and laugh and walk away.
And then I'll become a ghost because now they're real.
It's not a toy. Give me fucking. To remove the possibility of human error,
Yeah.
I'm going to tape these dowsing rods to this. So what's gonna be interesting?
It's gotta be kind of even.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up a distant scream.
It's gotta be kind of even.
It does sound almost identical to the owl noise that we heard.
Okay.
Little owl out there?
No, it doesn't. I could put them back to back.
Do it again. Could be different birds.
All right. Is anybody in here right now? Could you move those two rods and show us what a yes looks like? Or better yet, let's just start with, can you move those two rods? I'm not saying that the people here who worked here were all bad people, but there were a couple bad eggs. And there's reports of a very angry nurse here who stabs people for no reason. So if that's true, move these little rods here. Or if you want us to leave, move these rods here. They are definitively not moving.
Hey, nurse.
Oh God.
Bad nurse. Come on, put some needles in me.
Is there anybody in the room with us right now? After asking if anybody is in the room, our audio recorder picks up two distant whimpers. The second one maybe sounds like an owl. I'll give you that.
It could be 1,000 things before it's a ghost.
But listen to this one.
I'm not buying it.
Okay, not buying it. To close this out, let's investigate perhaps the most active floor in the Mayflower building, the third floor. This floor used to serve as dormitories for patients, and the current caretaker has claimed numerous residents still remain. In an effort to allow for easier communication, we'll explore the entire floor individually.
How you feeling? You know, I'll go in first. And I'm going to... Dude. I am now walking alone on the third floor. There appear to be a great deal. Oh, Ryan's gonna hate this. Here's a hallway that no one in their right mind would walk down because it has 1,000 doors. I'm going to continue all the way down this hallway. And I think down here, in this sad, scary room, is where I'm going to initiate the ghost box.
He's going to use a spirit box. We've used it before, but basically, it's a box that scans through radio channels at a very fast rate. Every 0.2 of a second, a new channel is going to be skipped to, and it's thought by that rapid skipping, it'll produce white noise that spirits can manipulate to talk to us.
Not really hearing anything on this.
And since it's scanning so fast, it's very unlikely that it's radio interference. If we hear something that's 2 words in a row, I'm pretty confident that's something speaking to us.
I'm here for you. If you're here, maybe sing a little song for me on my voice box. Communicate with me in some way. I'm here.
Right before Shane says, "I'm here," our audio recorder picks up a distant scream.
I'm here. I'm here. It's an ink blot test for you.
No.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is.
You see what you want to see, you hear what you want to hear. I get it. It's fun for you.
No, I'm taking...
You love ghosts.
No,
you want to believe in them.
I'm taking the anomalies and putting them out there for judgment.
Send them out. Throw
what I
a
just
parade
did.
for the anomalies.
That's what I just did. And you know what? You're allowed to have a different opinion. I personally think it's evidence, but you know.
That's great.
That's great.
Come on, boys. Ryan's not here right now. It's your time to kill me.
I wish I could approach it with the boyish joy that he does. I hate that he's having such a good time in there.
Moaning Myrtle? This looks like your kind of joint.
I really do.
Don't you hear how cocky I am? Wouldn't you like me to just shut the hell up?
Because I know when I go in there, my mind's gonna implode. Oh God.
Keep walking. That's all you can do is keep walking.
Shut up. Hello? Is there anybody in here that wants to talk to me? Oh my God, this is the fucking worst. I don't mean to scare you. Trust me, I am way more scared of you right now than you are of me. In fact, why don't you just not do anything? How did Shane do this laughing? What the fuck is wrong with this man? It doesn't help that every fucking wall in here is painted with "get out." All right, I'm gonna turn on my spirit box. Use this to communicate with me. I fucking hate this. What was that? Oh, I got the chills. Who's here with me right now?
The devil.
Is there anybody here with me? What was that? You? My name's Ryan. Can you say Ryan back? Oh my God. No, that's just my mind. It sounded like Ryan. Oh God, there's pentagrams everywhere in here for some reason. Who's in here with me? Jeff? How many of you are in here? 4? Oh no, you said 3.
Ryan, you gotta walk down that long hallway with all the doors.
I'm walking down the hallway. I was at the end right now.
The one when you walk in immediately to your left.
All right. Oh shit!
Yeah, that's what you have to walk down. Hurry up, you've got 2 minutes.
Oh, this is horrible. This is so horrible. Who's here with me? Bree? Oh God. It's an old wheelchair. Bree, why are you here? Bree?
All right, Ryan, we're coming up on 7 minutes here.
Fuck yeah. Get the fuck out of here. See you later. Peace.
How'd it go? You did it. What did you seem rattled right now.
Yeah, I'm a little rattled because I just spent an entire 7 minutes up there alone as a little ghost antenna, just talking to ghosts, and I didn't enjoy it, and I want to leave now, so let's leave.
Little ghost antenna. The Ryan Bergara story.
Shut up.
Well, it's been real.
Penhurst State School and Hospital.
You got
Assault.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We gotta figure that
We'll
out.
figure that out. You think the place is haunted?
No.
Why don't you ask me? What do you think my
Ryan,
answer is going to be?
Do you think the place is haunted?
You know what? Not sure,
Oh.
but probably.
Okay. Stop.
Yes. Based on our experiences tonight, I unfortunately believe that many spirits remain trapped within the walls of this tragic facility. Hopefully I'm wrong, but regardless, whether or not Penhurst State School and Hospital is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Hey, Ryan, I like your shirt.
Thanks, I like yours too.
Thanks, buy it here.
We're on our way to the Winchester.
This is Ghost Town.
We're going to Mexico. Terrifying Island of the Dolls. It's going to be our showdown with the demon to end the trip.
Today on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we cover multiple cases and visit some of the most haunted, horrifying places in the world in an effort to answer some questions that I've always been curious about. Are ghosts and demons real? And if they are real, can they manipulate, harm, and perhaps even kill the living? Right now, we're in San Jose, California at Sacred Heart Church to talk to Father Gary Thomas. In 2005, Father Thomas was sent all the way to Rome to the Vatican to learn the rite of exorcism. A movie was actually based on his experiences in Rome, starring Anthony Hopkins. Basically, this dude's the real deal. We're gonna be happy that we talked to him and had his guidance when we go to some of these places.
Yeah, I think so. We better stock up on some knowledge here, otherwise we're gonna get murdered by ghosts.
You're going to be thankful that we're meeting this guy later, I promise you. I promise you, you will regret that statement.
First off, thank you for meeting with us, Father Thomas.
Sure.
I've read a lot about you.
Oh, thanks.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
How many exorcisms have you performed over your career?
Formal exorcisms, I've probably performed 50 to 75 in 10 years.
What is the difference between a ghost and a demon?
A ghost would refer to a disembodied human soul. A demon is a preternatural angelic creature that rebelled against God.
It's not human.
No, it's not. Their life form is dying. They've been dying since the moment they rebelled. And so they are attracted to human beings for two reasons. One, because they are parasitic and they feed off our life form. But secondly, their goal is to take as many of us to hell with them as possible because they already know they've lost. I'm not trying to evangelize you.
I just got a shiver down my spine. So, can a ghost and a demon both possess or maybe influence the living?
Yes. And I've had those cases. Where are these homes you're going into?
One of them is nearby here, the Winchester Mystery House. Essentially, it's a haunted mansion. And then the next one is a haunted doll island in Mexico City. The last place is perhaps the scariest. It's a house infested with a demon. Do you have any advice for us going into some of these places where we may come into contact with not so nice spirits?
Are we still on camera? Yeah. Okay. If these places you're going claim to have spiritual attachments, I would do nothing to invite them into any kind of conversation. I would do nothing to invite them to somehow show themselves or taunt them in any way. You don't want to create a tie with them.
So treat it like a fine art museum.
I would.
Would it be possible for you to perhaps bless some water or something for me to carry?
Yes. Do you have something?
It's literally just a water bottle.
That's fine. I can bless it. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. In your kindness, hear our prayers, and pour down the blessing into this element, so that the health obtained by calling upon your holy name may be made secure against all attack through Christ our Lord.
Thank you. Thank you for sitting down with us, and thank you for
Was this helpful?
Fascinating.
This
Yeah,
was super helpful, and I feel a lot better about
Good.
what's about to happen.
Good.
Like, I just feel so comforted right now, and where we're about to go, it's going to be the exact opposite. So,
Yeah.
you're not worried about that at all?
No.
I'll give you why are we doing this? I don't know if we got this on camera, but he told me, do not be afraid. I mean, I won't lie, I'm very scared, but
Okay. Do not be afraid.
if anything happens, just do not be afraid. That's all you have to keep repeating. He said it a bunch of times in the Bible.
Jesus said chill.
Jesus said chill. Yeah, sure. All right, right now we're on our way to the Winchester. Just met with the pastor.
Got our holy water, got our tips, our demon tips. This looks like Disneyland. I wouldn't be surprised if they got cotton candy in there.
Yuck it up, man, yuck it up. You're really enjoying this, but when the lights go off, this may be a little different.
This is beautiful.
You are full of shit if you do not feel strange right now.
No, I don't.
Such a fucking shyster, dude. The hair on the back of my neck is standing over. This is crazy. Right now, we're sitting in the bedroom of Sarah Winchester, who built this mansion as the result of a terrible tragedy. Sarah actually passed away in this very room, in that bed right there.
Hell of a bed. I assure you, in like half of the places you've been, people have died there. People have probably died in the Chipotle we just ate at.
Let's just get into it.
Okay.
Sarah Pardee was born around 1840 to a very wealthy family. In 1862, in her early 20s, Sarah married William Winchester, whose father, Oliver Winchester, founded the company that made the Winchester repeating rifle, a rifle that will become the ultimate weapon of death in the wars to come. In 1866, Sarah and William had their first child, Annie Pardee Winchester, but unfortunately, their daughter would die from a disease called marasmus only a month and a half later. In 1880, William's father, Oliver Winchester, passed away, leaving the company to William. But William contracted tuberculosis shortly after and tragically died in March 1881, only a few months after his father.
Oh.
That was the most disingenuous.
That was real.
Okay.
Now that we've laid down the facts, let's get into the legend. William's death was almost unbearable for Sarah, who, according to legend, reached out to spiritualists and mediums in Boston to help her understand the deaths of her daughter and husband. Many believe that it was one fateful visit to a particular medium that would change her life. The medium told Sarah that her family was being haunted by the spirits of those killed by the Winchester rifle, and that her family members' deaths were retribution. The medium said Sarah's family was cursed, and that the only way to lift the curse was to move west and build a house, and never stop building.
Well, I think I know the end of this story.
The good spirits would guide her on what to build, and if she continued building, she could live forever. But if she stopped, the evil spirits that were victims of the Winchester rifle would haunt Sarah forever.
If you can live forever, great. But if you have to continue to build a house that entire time, unless you're having fun, which I don't think she was.
Well, she wasn't like putting on a hard hat and like physically making the house herself. She was delegating.
Well, then that's why she didn't live forever, because she found a loophole.
I won't argue that your logic is flawed. I just hate it because it's detrimental to my argument.
It's fine.
Needless to say, Sarah followed the medium's advice and moved west, where she built an 8-room farmhouse in San Jose. It is estimated that 500 to 600 rooms were built, but due to her constant remodeling, only 161 rooms remain, one of which was newly discovered in October 2016.
You think the ghost just checked in every like 3 to 5 years?
Check
like,
your time
we
card.
should see if she's still building that, otherwise we gotta kill her.
However, what makes this mansion famous isn't the size or amount of rooms. It's the odd and peculiar nature in which they were constructed. It was built this way in an effort to confuse the evil spirits that were haunting and following Sarah. The walkways are narrow and twist and turn around the mansion. There are stairs that lead to the ceiling and doors that open into brick walls. And in one instance, a door known as the Door to Nowhere that opens to a sheer drop on the outside of the house from the second floor.
I can't imagine a ghost would get foiled into falling into these bushes down here, but the thought is nice.
All right, now that we've established the legend, let's discuss some possible alternate theories as to why Sarah built the way she did. One theory that explains some unfinished aspects of the house is Sarah's arthritis that affected her late in her life. One area called the Hall of Fires is a hallway lined with fireplaces. Its purpose to perhaps aid Sarah's arthritis. This could provide a reason for an unfinished staircase, as she possibly saw no reason to complete it. But I struggle to see how this explains a door to nowhere.
Nobody is building a house like this because they have arthritis.
I'm saying this
That
is
is not a
this is a theory. I'm just stating.
No
theory.
one says, "Oh, my knuckles feel a little funny. I'm going to build a house with 500 rooms."
I hear you, man. I agree with you. I'm just saying this is a theory that people believe, and I'm relaying the theory.
Those people are idiots.
I mean, you know what the doctor says? Nothing's better for arthritis than a 2-story drop to the floor down below, right?
Right, yeah.
Another theory is that Sarah needed a change of scenery and continued to build to keep her mind occupied and off her grief.
Now that, yeah.
So,
Maybe she just wasn't very good at planning.
and she did that for her entire life. didn't
Yeah,
she?
for her entire life.
Okay. Just what I'm
Hey, we all need hobbies.
Another theory comes from historian Mary Jo Ignafo, who investigated Sarah Winchester. Ignafo believes Sarah was devoted to building because she was interested in architecture. Ignafo reports that Sarah's own letters reveal that construction stopped at months at a time, despite what legend would suggest. Ignafo also explains the unfinished state of rooms as the result of an earthquake in 1906 that caused damage to the house, theorizing that Sarah simply shut down that area of the house rather than attempting repairs. And finally, she also could not find evidence that Sarah communicated with spirits.
Although, I will say, I can't imagine communicating with spirits produces any kind of receipt.
No, nobody has evidence of that.
Okay, I'm just saying, I
yeah,
call bullshit on
Yeah,
that.
I agree with your calling of bullshit.
Good. I'm glad we agree on something
Yeah,
for once.
we've done it.
Okay, we've done it. We've done it. Let's go home now.
But enough conjecture. Let's look at some of the spiritually active areas of this very unsettling house.
Oh, this room looks like a nightmare. That's fun.
There's a few rooms in this house that strike me as, okay, this is ghost town. This could be it. Look, the way the shadows play with your mind.
Well, I didn't see something, I heard something. I heard a noise right up there. Came from up there.
Probably bats.
That's also a concern. I mean, but
Bats are no.
this fucking guy.
One room that is particularly important is a room called the Blue Room, or as some know it, the Seance Room. A room where Sarah would allegedly communicate with the good spirits on a nightly basis for building guidance. The room has 3 entrances and one door that is like a trapdoor dropping into the kitchen down below. And not surprisingly, this is one of the most active rooms in the house, with reports of organ music being heard, cold spots, and people experiencing dizziness.
What is this thing doing? It's making noises.
What is? I just took out a brand new battery. I just took off the plastic from it and put it in, and it drained it all the way to 0.
This is highly unusual. I've never seen it do this before.
I'm just gonna ignore you and fix the issue.
I'm gonna lock myself in here. I turned my flashlight off. This is horrible. I bet Ryan wouldn't do this.
Fucking come on, man. God damn it. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that. It still scared me. Fuck you. The house as a whole has reports of hearing people breathing, footsteps, hearing screws being unscrewed and dropped to the floor, full-body apparitions of servants, with the most famous spirit being Sarah herself, often seen in her bedroom. Naturally, one of the creepiest and most active places in the entire house is the basement, where guests and workers often claim to see the ghost of a caretaker named Clyde pushing a wheelbarrow. Why I'm walking here by my fucking self is beyond me. Fuck, I'm so scared. Ah, man. Okay, apparently this is where a recurring ghost is seen.
What are you? Hey man, calm down.
You piece of shit, Shane.
My mic went out, and then I was looking for you.
He's crouching in here like some kind of cave creature.
And then all I did was I went. I was
Oh
just
yeah,
coming
so
to
you're
say
just-
hello to you.
You're looking for me while grunting like a zombie.
You almost scared me to death. I'm never gonna forgive you for that. Hope you're fucking proud of yourself.
I thought you saw me.
Bullshit! You thought I saw you.
I really didn't think it was gonna work.
Sarah seemingly lived a life of solitude. She reportedly wore a dark veil at almost all times to mask her appearance. And in 1922, Sarah died at the age of 83. In the end, the questions remain. Was this just the result of a woman filled with grief? Or were the evil spirits that haunted Sarah Winchester so horrifying that they drove her and perhaps possessed her to build until her death?
She probably believed that spirits did say this to her. Whether or not that's a thing that actually happened,
So you're saying it's more along the lines of grief that
Yeah.
produced, perhaps.
I mean,
visions
she
of
went through
psychosis.
some pretty harrowing stuff.
Let me just ask you straight out: do you believe ghosts are real right now?
No,
Why do you not believe ghosts are real?
I've never seen one.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can't see that you are real. I feel like.
What can't I see?
You can't see gravity. That's real.
Yeah, I can drop an apple.
Fuck. I guess you'll just never believe me until
Look,
something happens.
hey, this whole entire trip, I'm ready. Hey, ghosts, don't tussle my hair.
I would do nothing to invite them to somehow show themselves or taunt them in any way.
Give me a little purple nurple or something. Let's have some fun. Here I am.
Regardless, the real reason behind the creation of the Winchester Mystery House will remain unsolved.
I'm so proud of her for doing this, by the way. It's really something.
You're the worst.
No, I'm genuinely, like, this is neat.
If I have to spend one more moment sitting in this chair looking at that silly face, I think I may murder you myself. All right, we're getting out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's leave this house.
Checking out San Jose.
Onward.
Onward to Mexico.
Yeah, why not?
So we're in Mexico, so that's pretty cool. We don't have to go to our next horrible place until tomorrow, so I think we're gonna enjoy the city a little bit tonight.
All right.
I don't know if this is a sign, but I'm in the bathroom at this bar, and this mirror literally has blood dripping from it. But I'm gonna go order another beer, so we're good. We're getting a drink in Mexico, and we ran into the Grim from Harry Potter. This is crazy. Mexico City is such a nice city.
Yeah, it is.
Shame we're on our way to a nightmare.
You're on your way to a nightmare. I'm on my way to a nice retreat.
Okay, we'll see. Right now we are we're being carted over to the dock.
We were just sort of put on here. I don't know.
I guess that's how easy it is to trick us. Hey, get on! Okay. Oh fuck! That was almost a two-bike trolley collision right there. So I'm actually not quite sure where we are right now.
No, it's fine. It's good. Just go with the flow, Ryan.
That's what people usually say on their way to their death. So we survived our little trolley over here. We're joined by Pepe from BuzzFeed Mexico.
Hola amigos.
Right now we're on the outskirts of Mexico City in the ancient Aztec canals of Xochimilco, heading to our next location, the terrifying Island of the Dolls. This is a mistake. Oh yeah, there's also a thunderstorm about to roll in, so that's fine. But he looks fine. Look at the kid's fine. And now I feel like a big weenie.
You are a big weenie.
It's been said that people don't like these canals due to the bad energy. Those who navigate the canals claim the dolls lure them to the island. One Trajanera operator claims that he was even possessed for multiple days when approaching the island.
This is the beginning of a horror movie right now. We're here, and it's raining. Lovely. Shall we?
Yep.
You go. You will go first.
Oh, I go first? All right. Okay. It's an ominous cloud in the sky. Some very atmospheric thunder.
Well, this seems all horrible and awful in general.
And this
No, this is not one of my favorite places.
In the 1950s in Mexico, Don Julian Santana Barrera was persecuted for being overzealous in his religious beliefs. After that, for reasons unclear, Julian abandoned his wife and child and moved to the island we're at tonight in the Xochimilco canals in the outskirts of Mexico City. The island we're sitting on is a chinampa, a man-made floating garden engineered by the Aztecs centuries ago.
Nope. I'm sure they'd be thrilled with what it's become.
Yeah, you think this is what they had in mind?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, monkey. Oh,
Monkey?
No, I thought I got bit in the ass cheeks by a spider. There's a lot of spiders here.
They're huge.
Julian lived on this island in isolation, and the story goes that he discovered the body of a young girl off the shore of the island. Julian was reportedly overcome with grief due to the fact that he could not save this little girl. Legend has it that shortly after her body emerged, a doll appeared where her body was.
I don't even know how deep this water is. Like if someone were to drown in this, I feel like it looks like it's shallow, but I guess it's deceiving.
Ah, this place is creepy.
Yep.
Oh, look, a teddy bear. Oh, fuck, a spider.
Julian thought the doll probably belonged to the girl, and he hung it up on a tree on the island. His reasons for doing this vary depending on who is telling the story. Some believe he did this to honor the little girl's spirit. Others believe he did this to appease the spirit and protect himself and the island. Another variation is that Julian hung the doll to protect the girl's spirit from demons in the afterlife. Whatever the reason is, the girl's existence has never been officially confirmed.
Okay. Wait, the dead girl wasn't
The dead girl was not confirmed.
Well, what happened to her body?
I don't know. This is a long time ago.
What did he do
It's
with it?
I don't know. We're in the canals of Mexico. This is like, I don't know how things work. Is that how things
It was
work?
the 1950s.
Probably spiders hate her.
However, Julian didn't stop at one doll. Instead, he began to amass perhaps the creepiest collection in the history of collections. Perhaps he felt the more dolls he hung up, the more protected he would be from the spirit.
He'd get along well with old Sarah Winchester.
One could say that.
He has a lifelong mission to appease the ghosts.
I think it's more a protection thing. He just doesn't want
all
to
right.
die.
He is wearing a Kevlar vest in that case.
He would hunt for the lost dolls from the canals and trash near the island, stringing them up in whatever dilapidated condition he found them. And as his island grew, so did the island's reputation, drawing new visitors that would trade dolls for produce grown on the island, consequently creating an extraordinarily bizarre barter system.
He probably fucks the dolls. Can I say that?
Oh, I thought you would have like some respect for this place, but
Nope, went straight with the fucks the dolls.
I'm with Pepe on this.
This is getting way off track.
Sorry, okay.
The compulsion to collect and hang these dolls was so extreme that those close to him believed he was driven by an unseen force that changed him forever. A force that many believe was the spirit of the young girl, haunting or perhaps possessing him to hang the dolls for 50 straight years in isolation on this island. Though he initially seemed to hang the dolls out of respect and a desire for protection, close friends claim that Julian eventually began to believe the dolls were possessed.
Anytime I get even remotely spooked, I just look to the monkey with the sunglasses. Let's get a great shot of that thing.
Those 50 years bring us to 2001, when the collecting of dolls came to an abrupt end. Julian's nephew, Anastasio, came to the island to help Julian plant pumpkins. According to Anastasio, he left to work on the garden, and when he returned, he discovered the body of his uncle floating in the canal. What's notably chilling is the fact that Julian's body was found drowned in the same spot the girl was found.
This is where it went down. This is where he drowned right here.
Cool.
Anastasio, who moved to the island after Julian's death, claims the dolls, quote, moved their heads and whispered to each other, end quote.
They've got dolls that piss themselves.
I mean, do you think these dolls look like they have remotely any kind of technological capability?
There was a Mickey Mouse over there with a little pull string.
Did it work?
I don't know, I didn't touch it.
I feel like you touched it.
Hi, kids. I did touch it. Oh, God.
Who do you think haunts this island?
¿Quién cree usted que esté en la isla?
Pues la muchacha que se ahoga en 1950 porque en las noches escuchan voces de mujer. Y mi tío cuando estaba en vida caminaba con sus tenis y su bastoncito, ahora se escucha igual.
Is that a bed?
Is that a guy?
Wait, what?
Should we poke it with a stick?
How about you, Shane? You poke it with a stick.
There's no one there. Is this a dream come true for you, Ryan?
I can't say that.
Don Julian Santana Barrera was 80 at the time of his death. Some people think that the dolls, or the spirits that inhabit them, might have killed Julian.
Sure. If that's what it's going to take to get us out of here, then yes, I believe in all of it. Put it on Wikipedia, and let's leave.
But to finish this off, let's visit the area that has the most heightened activity on the island. It's a shrine that Julian built inside a shed for his favorite dolls, including the original doll that Julian found all those years ago.
This is the shed where he kept his shrine. And there's candles inside, great. I did bring a little doll of my own. This seems like a good spot to leave it, right? Or should I put it in the lap of the original?
This is a fucking nightmare.
Oh, man. There's the original right here.
What? Where?
The one that looks... Oh, what the fuck was that? Holy shit balls. I was just about to put the offering on the original doll and then...
Holy shit, look at the spider coming out of it.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, these are fucking huge. Let's go.
This is also his favorite doll right here.
Okay, I don't care what his favorite. Fuck that. Let's go.
There's cats right there. Oh, fuck me. There are spiders everywhere.
Look at the size of that thing.
I'm gonna go under.
Okay,
Okay.
we've had our fun.
We are leaving this island.
Where's Pepe?
I'm over here. Ah, fuck. Spiders.
Oh, this is the island of spiders, not the dolls. Oh, they're everywhere. Ah, Jesus Christ. Then you just run into possessed dolls? Toodaloo, Julian. Can't say it was pleasurable. Okay.
In the end, Julian was remembered as a nice and welcoming man, but the mystery of his eventual death remains. Was it the result of his own compulsive behavior? Or was it the result of the spirit that he claimed haunted him for the last 50+ years of his life? For now, and perhaps forever, the case remains unsolved.
I like spiders. I think spiders are good. I think they're a great little insect or arachnid. But fuck everything about that place. I would love to bring Father Thomas to this island.
I don't think Father Thomas would be that down.
I don't think he would. What makes you think that?
Oh, because I don't know if you could exercise spiders away. All right, on the way to Kansas. It's gonna be our showdown with the demon to end the trip.
We've defeated the spiders.
Killed all the spiders.
We set that whole island on fire.
We survived the spirits of Winchester. I got my holy water ready. I'm ready for this showdown.
I don't think you are, frankly.
Right now, we're on our way to a house widely considered to be infested with a demon that tortured a young family. The grand finale. We're going to the Selly house.
Everyone thinks feeling energy is bullshit, but you don't feel strange at all? Not even a little bit?
No, not really. Oh shit, what up? I'm taking a selfie with some demons, yo! Hell yeah, what? Great. That'll be good. Gonna snap that. What's
You're insufferable. I'm just working myself up to it, you know.
Sure. Are you alright, man? Get in there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna get fucking holy water.
Okay. Okay.
Joke on who you want. And don't ask me for some later.
I won't. All they need is some WD-40. And that will... Sure. You're really selling it, huh? Little baby. Man, this is nice. You know what a place like this would cost in Los Angeles? It's an arm and a leg.
Let's just tell the story of this house. How about that?
Ryan, don't look over here. There's a little stuffed animal. Don't want to...
Right now, we're sitting in the living room of the Sally house. Our sleeping bags are right there. We foolishly plan on sleeping here for some stupid reason. I've lived my life by one adage, and that's don't fuck with demons.
It's an adventure. I just love seeing you squirm.
Let's just get into why this house is.
Tell your spooky story.
Located at 508 North 2nd Street in Atchison, Kansas, the Sally House is the ultimate haunted house and widely considered to be one of the most haunted places in America. Built between 1867 and 1871, this house has had 3 deaths inside its walls. Michael Finney in 1872, William True in 1918, and Agnes True in 1939. But while the deaths have perhaps added to the house's ghostly inhabitants, the real evil comes from something much different.
All right, I think he's here. So we call the paranormal investigator over.
Sure.
Hey. How's it going, man? Ryan.
Eric Insbrenner.
Shane.
Nice to meet you.
I think this is all bullshit.
Half of it is.
I brought a little bit.
I'm not gonna communicate with shit.
I would do nothing to invite them into any kind of conversation.
We are.
You're already doing it.
I'll be standing in the background.
While multiple residents of the Sally house have experienced paranormal activity, it wasn't until the 1990s when Deborah and Tony Pickman moved in that the activity was fully realized. What follows is based on their first-hand account of what started as a small haunting and later developed into a living nightmare. Deborah and Tony Pickman moved in on December 31st, 1992. The haunting started small. Lights in their house would dim. Their dog would bark incessantly at the entrance to the nursery, and their newborn baby would wake up every hour, quote, as if someone was playing with him, end quote. The Pickman's neighbor could see the nursery window from her house and eventually asked Deborah why she kept the light on in the nursery all night long with the baby sleeping in there. This question came as an icy shock to Deborah, who always turned the light off.
Oh. It was a little weird, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways.
Things got especially weird on July 14th, 1993, when Deborah, Tony, and her sister Karen discovered all the stuffed animals in the nursery organized into a neat circle back to back in the middle of the room on the floor. The three of them figured it was one of them playing a practical joke, so they put the animals back, turned off the light, and went downstairs. To their horror, when they returned, not only was the light on, but a bear was knocked off its chair and laying on its back on the ground.
We better get out of this house. Somebody knocked our little bear out of his little wicker chair.
You're telling me you wouldn't be unnerved by going upstairs and seeing a bunch of stuffed animals organized into a little cult circle when no one did it?
I don't know.
After that, like anybody would, they packed up some stuff, took their baby, and left the house to stay with Tony's parents.
Did they bring the bear?
I don't believe they brought the bear. I mean, I can't imagine they would bring the bear.
While they were leaving the house, Tony felt a sharp sting in his back. When they lifted up his shirt, they discovered 3 long scratches. Tony would continue to get viciously scratched as time went on, and in one instance, a scratch manifested while on video. The Pickmans eventually would turn to a psychic, who picked up on a presence named Sally.
Sally, if you're here, or any spirit that's here, let's communicate. Here's a flashlight. If you can turn the flashlight on and let us know you're here, that'd be great.
It's a little monkey. We saw one of those on the Island of the Haunted Dolls.
According to Deborah Pickman, on the morning of October 31st, 1993, Tony went to grab a glass of orange juice in the kitchen. When he turned around, he saw a little girl in early 1900s clothing. Shortly after, he sketched what he saw for Deborah.
All right, we are in the kitchen.
Please turn the light on for us.
Please don't.
Demon?
Stop calling it that.
Demon.
Stop it. Stop talking to it.
No, I just want to talk to the demons. We met a pal named Father Thomas. He told us not to talk to you, but I think you guys are swell.
I would do nothing to invite them to somehow show themselves or taunt them in any way.
If you like the guys staying here, turn the light on.
You're fucking crazy, Shane.
If you don't like us, turn it on.
Please don't turn it on. Please don't.
What the fuck? Oh, shit.
No! Where's my holy water?
Where's my holy water? If you actually don't like us, please just turn it on. I don't think they have the power to turn it back on again, frankly. I really think they don't.
Are you fucking kidding me? What the?
Keep in mind, we have to spend the night here.
Please turn the light off for us, spirits.
Don't you fucking
turn it all the way off. Thank you. Oh.
Oh my god. What
Please try.
Oh my god. You should have never talked to it, dude.
That's a car going by. It's okay.
No, that's the fucking flashlight rolling in the background.
Look, it's coming back.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, it's a flashlight. It rolls. It's cylindrical.
But it shouldn't roll back and forth like
what?
that.
You should have never talked to it, dude. What is wrong with you?
In what may be a curious coincidence, a former resident who lived in the house shortly before the Pickmans said, quote, "My daughter was 5 at the time. She had an imaginary friend, Sally. I would scold her for something and she would come back and tell me, I didn't do that, Sally did it. Or Sally told me to do it." When shown Tony Pickman's drawing 11 years after they moved out of the house, the daughter identified it as her imaginary friend from her childhood.
Do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not be afraid.
Do not be afraid.
Hey, just sit down. It's fine. Okay, well, don't hurt your...
Oh, fuck, okay.
I mean, sure, we don't know how to explain that. Maybe it's just, flashlights are funny like that.
The Pickmans also reported fires that would start on their own. In fact, 2 former residents before the Pickmans reported fires starting inexplicably in the room that would eventually become the Pickmans' nursery. The activity continued to escalate beyond fires, however. A lamp was thrown at Tony's mother. Tony reported hearing scratching behind his bed. Quote, almost like you had an animal digging to get out of the wall, end quote. And in one instance, Sally appeared in the room and grabbed Tony's wrist, burning dark red finger marks into his arm. At this point, Tony believed, quote, we're dealing with something way beyond a little girl, end quote, and begged to leave the house. Yet Deborah, who at this point never witnessed anything alarming, didn't share the same desire.
This was the 90s. People had, video recorders,
I mean, the scratches all happen on camera, but here's the thing. This is what I fucking love about, paranormal evidence. People are always clamoring for it, right? Like, where's the evidence? And then when the evidence finally is there, it's like, fake.
Things eventually went beyond physical terror, however. Here's another quote from Tony. Quote, it got to the point where when I was in the house, I could not think any happy thought. It was just strictly, I wanted to hurt her. I was a whole different person. And something could come inside me and make me capable of doing that. It tears me up. As much as I hate to say it, I'd planned on slitting her throat.
Jesus Christ! If you slit my throat tonight, I'm gonna have a hard time forgiving you for that.
Would you haunt me for the rest of my life?
No, because I'll be dead.
Well,
Ghosts aren't real.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
In 1994, the Pickmans finally moved out of the house. But at this point, you're probably wondering who is Sally. From what I could find, records show that a Sally Isabel Hall did indeed live in the house in 1905, but she was actually a 34-year-old black woman.
Wait. What?
Hear me out here. Okay.
While this may seem damning at first, the implications of this are actually quite horrifying. If there was, in fact, never a girl named Sally who lived here, then who or what was this alleged spirit presenting itself as a little girl named Sally? That question led me to this piece of research. Sometimes, inhuman presences or demons will allegedly present themselves as humans that are physically flawed. Or in some cases, perhaps like this one, they may appear as children.
That demon's racist. He was like, oh, there was a black lady who lived here? Wait a minute. No, I can't haunt with that.
Well, demons...
What about a little white girl? A little blonde one. I'll give her pigtails.
Demons don't...
Fuck that demon. He's whitewashing the history of this house. He's exactly what's wrong with Hollywood.
Demons don't present themselves as adults. That's what I was saying. They present themselves as
Ever?
No. An entity that's not human, it needs energy. It needs souls to feed off of. So if you need that, you wouldn't immediately come out with the horns. You come out with the little girl. That makes sense to me.
Whatever. Demon's racist. I don't respect this demon.
But what really suggests the presence of a demon is something that occurred in the basement well after the Pickmans left the house. A female tenant, her husband, and their children moved into the house and reported no paranormal activity. But on a surprise visit from landlord Les Smith, he allegedly discovered something terrifying in the basement. A large pentagram on the floor, an altar, a large black kettle, and a black robe.
A pointy hat, a broomstick.
Hey, man.
3 newts,
this is
a
what
lizard tongue, eyeballs.
That's what he found.
Many believe that this female tenant was a Satan worshiper, performing sacrificial rituals. To this day, there's a black mark on the floor where the alleged rituals took place. Consequently, many believe the demon lives in this basement, specifically in the hole in the back wall. Which brings me back to something Father Thomas told us about demons.
I was reading about something called infestation, where a demon will just take hold of a house.
So if that family was involved in a satanic cult and they were doing other kinds of rituals and spells that are part of the cult, it would not at all surprise me if there was something demonic still attached, because that's where that cult basically had a home.
And it opened the portal there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you're there or in the hole, you want to speak to us or communicate with us, turn that flashlight on.
Please don't, please don't, please don't.
That's me, sorry.
Oh, thank God. Okay, thank you,
So we're giving off high MF here because of this.
Whoa, oh, that thing.
So that's a false read.